When the TV first came out, like what kind of television shows did they put on it?
Well, that is a good question, and I do remember the answer to that one because our family was the last one in town to get a television set. And I was a senior in high school when I got a television set. So I was 17 years old, so that would have been about 1961 or 2. And the shows that were on TV, to tell you why my parents decided to get a TV, my father, as I said, was the local general practitioner, a small town doctor who made house calls. And there was a TV show called Hennessy. And Hennessy would travel around, and he was a doctor, so he wanted to see what the doctor on television did. So that's one show. Howdy Doody was a show. You hear about these. Mickey Mouse show. I would stop off at my friend's house, and there were 2 channels, or maybe 1, not many. And I think we would watch after school the Mickey Mouse show on the way home from school. Because I always laugh when I say this, but we walked a mile to school. We went to school, we walked a mile home for lunch, we walked a mile back after lunch, and a mile home at the end of the day. So all of you moving next month, think about that. We did 4 miles just going to school every day. You remembered your question?
Yes. So when you were in high school, did you always want to be a teacher?
No, I didn't. I love to read, and I read and read and read, and then I decided to go to college, and I kind of had equal interest in science and English, but I just kept taking courses I really enjoyed in English. And I had a roommate who was in training to be an elementary school teacher, and she was learning how to make bulletin boards and doing paintings and projects, and I thought, I don't want to do that. So I then went to get a graduate degree, a master's degree, and with my master's degree in English, teaching was one of the few things I could do at the college level. So I can teach at the college level, and then later in life, after I taught for 15 years, I went back and got a doctorate in English. But I can teach at college, but I probably am not officially sanctioned to do much more than substitute in a public school. So it's just a funny way that certification works. If they're desperate enough and they want you, they'll let you substitute, and I guess if they're desperate enough for teachers, they might too. So let's see, you haven't had as much time to ask questions. What was yours?
Okay, like when there was a TV, this is kind of silly, but was there Powerpuff Girls?
No. I remember when those came in because my daughter, who is now 34, was little, so maybe 20 years ago, something like that. So that's not that old. Yes?
Did you sell Girl Scout cookies?
Oh, we sold Girl Scout
What
cookies.
kind of cookies did you sell?
Well, the Thin Mints, and I think they had the peanut butter. And you know how much they cost? Do you want to guess?
I want to know.
Just guess. What would you say?
2 cents?
Keep going, a
50
little higher.
cents a box?
A little higher, you're close. You're down, 35. Who said 35? Yeah, 35 cents a box when I sold Girl Scout cookies. And they were the same kind of cookies, except only those 2 choices. We didn't have all the others. So that's a good question, yes. You haven't asked one yet.
When I was looking at the sash, it looked like you had a patch that was roller skates.
Yes.
What did you have to do to get that?
You know what, that one's in this book, and I saw it in here, and it says it's a skater, and you can either be a good roller skater or an ice skater. Now, I did do both, but I think I might have done more roller skating because, in fact, one of the skates is a roller skate, and the other one is an ice skate. And we had a roller skating rink nearby, and almost every Saturday afternoon we'd have roller skating parties, we'd go roller skating. So I would guess that I did for roller skating then, but I also in the winter we could do ice skating. But that's, if you want to see what you have to do, there's the 9 things on that page that it says you do to get the badge. Yes?
What's your favorite camp food that you made?
Probably a good stew where you put lots of things into it. And this was before the era when you had, you could buy the freeze-dried food. So put a lot of things. We also learned how to make the Dutch oven meals where you could put the biscuits on top and that sort of thing. But that was, I really liked a good stew. And when we would buy the things and mix it up, that was good. And I'm sure when you do things, you learn to all divide up all the tasks, so you get to end up doing everything. Yes?
What was your favorite?
I sure like Thin Mints. What do you like? Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they? But you know what? Oreos now has one that almost tastes like a Thin Mint. And those fudgy things, they're dangerous. Yes?
Okay. Or when you got TV,
Right.
was there like and stuff like that?
You know, now that you said Bieber, but it hit me that I think Leave It to Beaver was on.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant by Bieber? Oh,
Couldn't remember what
yeah.
it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My TV,
Yeah.
it's got this really old channel,
Yeah.
and it's got that,
Nick at Night has a lot of that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
and then
Right.
it's got Father Knows Best and stuff like that.
That's another one. Father Knows Best was on.
And
too.
monkeys.
Yeah.
And monkeys. Love
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
When the TV came out, how many years later did the PlayStation come out?
Let's see. 20 maybe? I mean, how long has PlayStation been out?
I meant the old-fashioned PlayStation.
The old fashioned.
They're not
Like
like
the
PlayStation
cute-
The very, 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 very
Like-
dusty one.
Like the Pong
That's
game.
my garage.
Pong game in Nintendo came out in like the
Yeah.
70s or
Yeah, it
80s.
was a while ago. What would that be? Almost 30 or 40
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so, odd question. Did you do any sports?
I did intramurals, which girls, that was one of the only ones we got to do because we didn't have Title IX and we didn't have women's sports, it was all men. But we had the Girls Athletic Association in high school, and so I played basketball. But do you know what kind of basketball we had? It was 3 on one side and 3 on the other. Because girls didn't think they were strong enough to run up and down the floor all the time. Iowa had a lot of basketball tournaments like that. And so you were either a forward or a guard, and you played that side only. So it was weird. But we played, you know, when I say intramurals, with this Girls Athletic Association, we played against each other. So one team of women played another team of women from our own town. We didn't go to other towns. I was a cheerleader, and we did do that, and we did cheer for other people when I was in high school, my first few years of, well, in junior high. But when you got into, after the first year of high school, I also was in the band, and if you played in the band, you couldn't be a cheerleader, so you had to decide to make a choice.
Girls, we need, for the sake of time, we could be here for hours, but let's thank Edith Baker Lowerman for coming and answering our questions today, sharing her memories.
Thank you so much for your questions. They really were good. I've enjoyed talking to you. And I can answer your last two quickly.